season ends last year. Where was your head at that point, and how did you sort of head into the offseason?
I was hurt, a lot of emotions, mad, sad, and disbelief, all because of the way the season ended and all because that the season ended. But, I mean, we're here now. That was a long time ago. I haven't thought about that since, I don't know, the last time I thought about that. But, everybody has their head straight forward now. We're all focused on this year, all the new guys here, all the old guys here. Everybody's focused on one goal this year. So
how can you talk me through in the process of you decide to come back here? What was going through your thought process, and how was it? Did it feel like you didn't miss a beat because you really didn't leave, or how did it feel like getting adjusted back after making that decision?
Yeah, I really didn't think I missed a beat. The thing that I'm glad, though, happened, it felt like a huge refresh. When I ended up coming back, it just felt like a whole reset button and just like that mental refresh that I needed. So
for you, obviously, we just talked to Coach Davis. He was saying he wants you guys to play as fast as he's ever played, as fast as he's ever coached.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like? How has that gone? And he's toyed with some stuff with you and Elliot and RJ in the past. Like, how small could you guys go in theory?
we can go super small. I think I could be at the 4 this year. I think we'll see Drake a lot at the 4, but that's just, Drake's versatile enough to play that. So I wouldn't say that's too small, but I think, honestly, who knows? Maybe this year I could play some 4, but we're going to play a lot of small ball. We're a very fast team this year, and, we're going to get out. I think we'll be much faster than last year.
How much of a adjustment has that been for you?
Not too big of an adjustment. I've always been somebody who likes to run, and most of the guys here have always been people who have liked to run. I'd say the biggest adjustment has come from the bigs. They've had to adjust to that, but they've been great. They've been great with it, so it'll be fun.
You got a mixed bag of experience in this backcourt. You got the old guys coming back in and a lot of talent, the young guys. What's it like playing in that boiling pot of elite talent and experience?
It's fun because you get the best of both worlds. You guys, old guys with the experience and who can kind of play with the vet savvy, and then you got the young guys who can just go. Don't really need the vet savvy and whatnot. So, I think the experience and the amount of young guys and mix on this team, it'll make for a lot of successes here.
You got RJ coming back for year 5. What was your reaction when you first saw that news?
I was a smile. It was a smile, a huge smile on my face. I knew RJ was coming back before he announced it, so we had talked about that. But when he told me he was coming back, it made it even better that I was coming back. So it was perfect.
For you personally, what's been the focus this summer?
Just growing as a player and as a leader. That's been the biggest thing. I've just tried to build my game in each and every way I can. This whole summer I haven't really focused on one thing. I've tried to improve everything I think is shown this summer, but being a leader also. We lost Cormac, we lost Harrison, Armando, Paxson. We lost all of our walk-ons. All those guys, they were leaders. So a lot of steps and a lot of shoes to fill in that position.
Is there one aspect where you feel like you've grown the most? Your shot, your handle. Defensively, you already kind of had it. So.
Yeah. I say my shot, my efficiency over the summer has been there. With the attempts, but I always knew that was there. It's just something that you guys maybe hadn't seen in the past.
You talked about Drake's versatility.
Appreciate it.
What have you seen from him over the past few months that has maybe surprised you?
Nothing has surprised me, to be honest, but what I've seen from him, I've seen everything. I've seen him stretch the floor. I've seen him be a dominant force inside on the defensive and offensive end. He's just been a great all-around player, and he'll have a huge impact for this team.
Pardon me if you've been asked already, but could you take us through going into the portal, the emotions that went into that, and how that whole process played out?
Yeah, a lot of sadness. I never really wanted to leave this university in the first place, but when I entered, I felt like that's what needed to be done at the time. But I ended up taking a little week vacation to Florida during the time. I shouldn't have left. I missed a few days of school, but felt like that's what I needed. And while I was there, I was just able to really process every emotion that was going through my body, and I was just able to really realize what was best for me, what situations were best for me, what situations can put me in the best position possible in the future. So, that was that.
Did you seriously consider any school?
Yeah. I didn't just enter the transfer portal just to enter the transfer portal.
You had one or two you were kind of had your eye on?
Yeah, yes sir. But they're not North Carolina. I'm here.
Seth, you obviously had the highs and lows here. Talk about that as far as your leadership for these young guys. They come in talented, but they don't know what it's like.
Right. It's been huge. It's been huge. We've all kind of been that recruit that has come in, that's been talented. But just for me, just to be able to go through the highs and especially the lows, I've been able just to give these guys, Ian, Drake, the guards especially, but even the younger, even James Brown, even some of the bigs. I've just really been able to show and just give my experience and what I've been through and how I've handled it. And I didn't necessarily handle everything the right way when I was younger, so just being able to show them the right way and being able to teach them, the proper way from my mistakes has been big.
What you've seen so far, how much faster will the tempo be this season as opposed to last season?
It'll be much faster. Much faster. We were a fast team last year, but I really think we'll be much faster this year.
How is that playing out? What's making that happen?
Just the team that we have. The guys that we have were more athletic this year. I think we have more guys that can put it on the floor and more guys that can get out and go without having an outlet to somebody this year. And you'll see it. You'll see it. Yeah.
Those who've been at practice have spoken really how you said that you really stood out. Why do you think that is? What about the way you're playing this summer makes it? What about your game that you think that people are seeing?
You mind repeating the first part of your question
yeah,
real quick?
So
Sorry.
people who've seen you this summer have talked about, Seth looks like he's taking a real big step forward. Why do you think that is? Is that more confidence? What is that?
It's just a comfort thing, confidence thing, and really just me. I guess just saying enough is enough. It's time to show who I know I can be, who I know I am. You guys haven't seen it, and I know it's been there, so it's just a matter of just showing it, I guess.
What role has Coach Davis played in that process for you? What has he been telling you since the season ended? What does he either want you to work on, or how does he want you to move your game forward?
A huge role. Coach Davis only wants what's best for me, and he's shown nothing but support, and just he's been a great person to me this whole summer. I haven't just seen him as a coach, but I've seen him as a mentor, somebody that I can really look up to, and it's helped a lot. It's helped a lot.
Has he had a message about your game or anything that he wanted you to? It sounds like what he wanted you just to be confident to do what he already knows you can do. Is that right?
Yeah, he just wants me to be me, and that's the biggest thing.
How have you seen Jalen Washington grow from end of last season to now? How has he gotten better? Where has he gotten better?
His body, physically, I think he looks like a new person. You may not see it too much, but on the floor, he's really showing it. But, I've always known what Jalen's capable of. He just hasn't always been able to show it. But, now that I've seen it this summer and now that you guys will get to see it, it just makes me really excited for it. But, Jalen, he'll be special this year.
How exciting is it for you to have it? Hubert talked about a lot of small ball, a lot of guards and wings playing together. It's exciting to think about you and Elliott and RJ and Jackson.
It's super exciting. That's going to mean there's going to be a lot of opportunities for me to play with other point guards on the floor, just like last year, but probably even more so this year. So, it'll be super fun for me, and it'll give me a chance just to be even more of a point guard with Ian and Drake and RJ off the ball. Just bring a lot more opportunities for all of us this year.
Seth, you think, speaking of the guards, we'll see any lineups of maybe you playing alongside three other guards, whether that's Ian, whether that's RJ, whether that's Drake or Elliott?
Yeah, no, I think we definitely will. Just with this team, with everybody's versatility and capability, I think we will.
Will you be guarding up a position, like maybe guarding some threes and fours?
Absolutely. I guarded threes this past year, guarded up my freshman year. I've never had any problem with that, so I'm sure I'll guard some fours too this year.
Real ones remember watching you in high school guard Patrick Baldwin Jr. So
exactly. We've been doing it.
You kind of talked about your leadership on the team. You have a whole new wave of walk-ons. Are there any ones in particular that you're kind of seeing that you're having to mentor just a little bit more?
No, I think everybody's doing a really good job in, hearing what we have to say and, just taking and honing in on our words. Nobody's really having a hard time. But no, I wouldn't say there's anybody specifically. Everybody's doing a really good job. Yeah.
What have you seen from Ben Lubin so far since he came in this summer?
He's a strong force. His size, height-wise, might not show it, and you might not think it just looking at his frame, but Ven's a really strong force, and he'll be just a really good tool for us. Van can space the floor. He can take guys off the dribble, and he can really create on his own, which I think we haven't seen a lot.
Notre Dame, Mike Braycard, a positionless player.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that? How is he working in this rotation?
He'll be, I think Van will see most of his time here at the 5, but we'll be able to space him out at the 4 some, just if we want to go big a little bit. But, yeah, 4 and 5, it'll be his primary. I don't think we'll ever put him at the 3 or anything smaller than that, of course.
With you guys playing the more small ball style, you could be spreading the floor a lot more. And your three-pointer made a big improvement in efficiency last year. You think you're going to be getting more shots up this year? Or?
Absolutely. That's been one of the primary focuses this summer. The whole offensive game, of course, but just the shot. That's the focus every summer, but definitely a lot more will get put up.
You guys have been working with Coach Marcus Page. He's got promoted to assistant this year.
Yes,
What's
sir.
it been like working with him?
It's great. I mean, I give all praise to Marcus. I think Marcus will be one of the biggest reasons that, UNC takes a big jump in development. I mean, he's been amazing this year. Last year was his first year, and he was great last year. But, I mean, just being able to work with him all summer this year has been something special.
With that three ball, have you been tweaking mechanics, or is it more just a consistency and growing that confidence off?
Just reps. That's all. Nothing mechanically, just reps, smoothing it out. I mean, that's the biggest thing. That's it. But just reps.
What does Marcus bring that's going to be different this year? Like, what is he adding to the team you think is going to make a big impact?
He just adds skill. I mean, he's a guy who really knows the game of basketball. He's a guy who knows how to play the modern game. You watch Marcus play, you could shoot. I mean, Marcus could do it all. So just him being able to give his knowledge to us guards and to even the bigs, it's been huge.
Seth, we keep hearing Hubert saying he wants to play faster and faster than you guys have played before.
Yep.
Like, what does that look like right now in the preseason as you're trying to rev it up?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, do practices move quicker? Are you being asked to just be on the run all the time?
Yes,
tell us
being asked to be on the run all the time with everything, even if it's half court. If we're doing a half court drill, he's ready to get out in transition.
Gotcha.
But with everything, taking the ball out faster, getting to our spots quicker, just getting into offense quicker. I think a big thing this year is on misses, we get the ball up in 3 seconds. On makes, we get the ball up in 4 seconds. And that wasn't really emphasized too much last year. But, yeah, in kind of every way, in every aspect this game is played, he's emphasized faster somehow.
And it seems like this roster could potentially thrive
Absolutely.
that way, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, when you look at the makeup of the team.
Absolutely. What I say is we played very fast last year, I feel, but we're a much more athletic team this year. So, I mean, I can only imagine how much faster we play this year. I think it would be something fun.
On the defensive end, you guys made a big jump last year, and you were at the forefront of that. What was that experience like, and what are the expectations going into this year?
I mean, it was a great experience. It helped me build just some characteristics and just some things of being a leader. I think that's one thing I really took heart in last year, just being a leader on the defensive end. And, I mean, just guys like me, Jalen, RJ knows how important, defensive, of course, at this level. But we've really been preaching it because, we're going to score a lot of points this year, but we won't be a good team if we can't get any stops.
Any one-on-one matchups you're excited for this year?
Anybody good. Anybody good. That's it for me.
It's hard not to see you and not think back to L.A. And I remember how upset you were out there.
Mm-hmm.
Did you – I know you've talked about it some, but did you think you had played your last game in a UNC uniform in that moment?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. At that moment, just because I hadn't had my mind set on anything, but it's just what I was thinking, what was best for me. In the moment, I thought that was going to be my last game, in that uniform, and it was a really emotional locker room.
I remember it well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you were in there. Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
I remember the words that you said. And, this group will never be together again.
Right.
That type of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Did you just not find what you wanted in the portal? Did you go in thinking I'm going to find ABC, and it wasn't like that?
No. I had what I wanted in the portal. I had the schools, the money, whatever it was. There were situations for me in the portal that I could have gone and been the guy that I wanted to, but I had to take a step back, realize my values, and realize the best position for me and what could put me in the best position after this year, or after next year, whenever the time comes, when it's ready. But, that was here. And I realized, how much I love this place. I never really wanted to leave in the first place, but I feel like it's what I had to do. But God brought me back here, so.
Seth, I'm curious, with college football seeming like it drives everything. We see schools jumping leagues left and right. You're a college basketball player, and it feels like basketball sort of where is the fit for basketball in a world that seems like it's driven by football? Do you worry about things like that?
Absolutely not. I think everybody knows the North Carolina is a basketball school. I guess you could argue that the ACC is a basketball conference. I don't really know. I'll take either answer for which, but I don't worry about that at all. I just come in each and every day wanting to play basketball. I'm not worried about who watches college football and who watches college basketball. Nobody can come to these games, and I'll be happy with my guys and win at the end of the day.
Was there anything – sorry, I'm not trying to harp on this. Just
it's all good.
Question. I haven't seen you in a long time.
It's all good. I understand.
Was there anything – you know how it is when you're doing normal day-to-day things, mm-hmm. and big ideas sort of hit you. brushing your teeth, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, was there a moment where you were like, damn, I think I'm going to go back to Carolina? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, when did it hit you that, like, you know, I think I'm going back?
I was in Florida. I went to Florida kind of as soon as I entered the transfer portal just to get a getaway, you know, to get away from here and really just to take my mind off of everything. And it kind of hit me when Coach Lebo had called me. Me and Lebo talked, I think, 4 or 5 times when I was in Florida. He had called me. I remember HD, I talked to my dad, and I had talked to a couple former players here. And it was kind of after all that night, it really just hit like, I mean, that's what I wanted to do was come back here, you know. So
didn't want to leave it.
Yeah. So a few things happened that led up to me coming to that conclusion.
You spoke of Coach Lebo, and you played with Creighton's son last year, and now you're playing with Elijah Hubert's son. What's that like, in watching them interact and support, you know, father-son duo?
Yeah, it's super cool. I haven't seen HD get mad at Elijah too much on the court, but he did a little bit the other day, so that was a little funny to see. But, I mean, Elijah's like a brother to us. We don't see him any differently. We never saw Creighton any differently, so, I mean, we never think too much into it.
Yeah.
Seth, what is Elliott year
No
two
problem.
look
Good
like?
to see you.
You too.
One more time, I'm
What does
sorry.
Elliott year 2 look like? What do you see from him that's different from year 1?
I'm more confident, smarter, just playing at a better pace. He's shooting the ball much better, and he's just using his body in ways that he may not have last year. He's just putting it together. You know, last year, I mean, he was a freshman. It's hard to be a freshman in North Carolina, but he still had a great year. But I think this year you'll really see a complete game of his.
Now that RJ has like progressed into a leader on this team, how have you seen him change from your earliest memories of him?
Yeah, I mean, that's RJ. My junior year, or his junior year, I wouldn't say he was too much of a leader. You know, RJ was more laid back, point guard. You know, he's gonna be there for you, support you, take you in. But you know, he wasn't vocally the leader that he was this year. So just being able to see him grow, last year was a huge step for him. You know, RJ was, no doubt, without a doubt, the best player in the country, but he still wasn't, you know, the vocally. That's what we had Mondo for. But this year, he's really taking home on it. He's all in on it. He's our leader. He's our guy. So just to be able to see him grow, just and mature over the years, you know, it's been special.
And now you two both have that tournament experience from last year.
Right.
And experiencing that upset, how has that driven you guys going into this year?
We're hungry. I mean, we never want to experience that again, but we know in order to even get back to the Sweet 16, we got to take care of Elon, then we got to take care of Kansas, so on and so forth. So, you know, we know there's steps to it, and we got to approach it in a certain way.
That Sweet 16 matchup was an emotional game, but you guys get a shot at revenge this year at home. What are you excited for in that game?
A shot at revenge. I mean, you said it. That's what we're excited for most. That's a game we want to get back, so we'll be looking forward to it.
What have you seen from Jalen Washington in this offseason so far?
Just a huge step up in his play. I've known what Jalen's been capable of. I've known what he can do, and I've known the player that I know he is for the last 3 years or so. But you know, now he's really getting the opportunity. He's really being able to show it. So I'm super happy for him. You know, Jalen's my best friend. I just can't wait for him to be able to show it on the national stage.
Are you guys still roommates?
No, we're not. I moved out on my own, but
Okay.
we live in the same building,
Okay,
so I
cool.
see him all the
You see him a
time.
lot? Yeah,
Yep,
okay.
yep.
Seth, if Coach Davis rolled the balls out and said dunk contest between you, Jay Wood, Ian Jackson, and well, just you three, who would be the winner?
Me. It'd be nice though. I mean, they keep up. They compete well, but I think I'm gonna run away with it.
Drake Powell was the fourth guy I was thinking of.
Yeah, no, Drake would make it even more entertaining, but I think I'd run away with it.
Still the winner.
Yeah, they got some nice packages though. Don't think they don't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you went in the portal and then came back out and returned, is there like a feeling of relief that you're here? You're not looking at what might be on the other side like a lot of guys do in this era. Now that you came back and I guess you're here for good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a huge just sigh of relief. I never wanted to leave this university in the first place. I'm sure I've said that somewhere before, but it's just something that I felt like had to be done. But, you know, when I was able to take a step back and listen to what some coaches had to say, but really listen to what, you know, the coaches here had to say, it helped me realize where my heart is, you know, what I value the most, and, you know, where I was belong to be. It was a very hard week, a very emotional week. When I entered the portal, I broke down crying. I just really didn't want to do it, but at that moment in time, I felt like that's what I had to do. And then as soon as I entered the portal, and I'm dealing with all these emotions. I have coaches calling me, so I got to deal with that on top of that. So it was a unique experience, and it was something hard to balance, but I think I did a good job of doing it.
The last time I'd seen you was in the locker room in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
And you were crying, and you were talking about how much you loved the front of the jersey. How much did that emotion bring you back as well? That talk.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the main reasons I brought back. I mean, I would never come back into a situation where I know that wasn't good for me, no matter how I felt. So, I mean, the emotions were heavy, and they played a huge part in it. But I knew that, I could be something at this university, and me and myself and me and this team this year have a special chance to do something.
Seth, when you think about the jump that you took from your freshman year to your sophomore year, are you kind of looking at Elliott and thinking that same thing's coming for him as well?
Absolutely. I think Elliott will be a really special player this year. He's looking more comfortable. He's, just using his body differently. He's playing at a slower pace. He's still very fast, but, he's playing with a pace, this year. And it's been fun to see him this summer.
When you think about the backcourt that you guys have, specifically you, RJ, and Elliott, just the type of weapons, the type of versatility that all three of you bring, not a lot of teams in the country have that in their backcourt, you think, right?
No, I think, this backcourt this year with Ian, Drake, Cade, everybody else, I'm sorry, I don't think I'm missing anybody, but just all of us this year, we all bring something, in our own way, and I think we'll be a fun and fast team this year.
Hubert says he thinks you guys should be the fastest team in the country baseline to baseline this year. RJ said you guys are doing a drill where if you don't bring the ball up the court in 3 seconds,
3 seconds.
The ball.
Yep.
Take us through that, and how difficult is it to get it up in 3 seconds?
We're used to it now, but when he first kind of implemented that, it was I look back at it and laugh now because we would just go up the court sometimes without realizing. AJ would just say nope, other way, because it'd be 4 seconds instead of 3 seconds. So he's been preaching that on us, and he's been really hard on it. So I think you'll see us getting the ball up the court in 3 seconds a lot this year.
The roster composition lends itself to that more.
Absolutely.
A lot more guys in the baseline to baseline.
Absolutely. We're a more athletic team than last year. We're faster, and we have more guys, like you just said, that can, do more with the ball.
Do you think Coach is going to utilize a quicker rotation between guards, or is it more of a Tom Thibodeau approach?
We'll see. I think it'll be hard to keep anybody off the court this year, so I think he's going to have to. Yeah, so we'll see.
What have you seen from Cade and the impact he's had? Any moments in scrimmages or practices that has really shown what he can be as a shooter and a guy who can stretch the floor for y'all?
Yeah, he's really stretched the floor for us. He has really just gave us that extra, that extra plus on the offensive end that, we were really looking for. So I'm really excited to play with Cade this year. He's going to make spacing for us a lot better, and he's going to make driving opportunities and all that much better for us this year because if you play off of him, you play too much in gaps, he'll make you pay.
Obviously, having a knockdown shooter changes the way that you guys play offensively. How would you describe that impact and how defenses are going to be scratching their head trying to stop that with all the guards that y'all have?
Yeah, they're going to have no choice to adjust. If they don't, we're going to feed him. But once they do, all of us guards, who are very much capable of putting the ball on the floor, that's what we're going to do. I'm not calling him Brady Manic, but look at how they had to guard Brady, 2-3 years ago. What was that? 3-4 years ago?
Three.
I don't even know.
Three. Okay, yeah. How they had to guard Brady 3 years ago. It'll be a similar way. You have to respect the shooter. You have to guard him in gaps a certain way, and if you don't, it'll make you pay.
What has it been like to be just around him on and off the court since he's come in?
Super cool person. One of the most down to earth guys you'll ever meet. I often catch myself having to compliment him and remind him of how he is or what he does, et cetera, just because he's so humble and down to earth. But they love that guy. He's a very cool dude.
Seth, when you look at the season schedule, you have Elon in the regular season opener, and then you guys go to Kansas a few days later.
Yeah,
that's a pretty big jump. Like, how exciting is that? Is that as a prospect?
Super exciting. We want to go to Lawrence and pull out a huge win. We know that's probably going to be the hardest game of the year. So, but we're ready for it. We want to embrace it and just embrace the difficulty and adversity that will come with it. But we're not looking past Elon. We know Elon is going to come in here and give their all. We know Elon has his game circled on his schedule. So we know if we look past that game, it won't be good for us.
One more thing on this 3-second thing. Who keeps the three? Is that in Hubert's head?
Yep, Coach does. Yep.
He just does it.
Yes, sir. He'll be when we're playing.
He doesn't say it out loud. He just all of a sudden.
Nope. But if you don't bring it up in 3 seconds, he'll call turnover the other way.
Is that from the time you get the rebound?
From the time you get the rebound, yes, sir.
Rebounds or inbounds?
Inbounds, if it's a make, it's 4 seconds. But on a miss, it's 3 seconds.
Only,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, no, he's counting. He's counting.
And that's something new this year?
Yes, sir.
You weren't doing that last year?
Nope, no sir, no sir. Yeah. So.
What kind of leader is RJ? How would you sum that up? Just you've been around him so much. How much?
He's a leader in, especially this year. He's been a leader in every single way possible. I think he's really matured over these last couple of years and has used his voice more and more. But he's making sure everybody's locked in how they need to be. He's making sure that he's doing what he needs to be to make sure this team can be the best team possible. He's just, he's been the best leader that I can imagine him to be, and he's really helping this team.
So he is more vocal.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What is it about Chapel Hill and the fans? I don't know if you're familiar with the Seth shirt. This is a community that really loves their basketball team.
Yeah.
How did that impact your decision to come back here?
It really impacted my decision. I never wanted to leave this university, like I said, but just the support and the fellowship and just the love that I felt from this university all year long. Even my freshman year, when it wasn't my best year, it was just really something special.